Hey, my Ozark friends, Vincent Anderson here for Ozarks History. I'm kind of parked out here in the middle of nowhere in the Ozarks. Actually, there's no such place as nowhere in the Ozarks. If you're a native, you know where you're at. And this place here, pretty close to Oakland, Arkansas. And I'm going to share with you what I had the opportunity to do a couple days ago. I got to sit down with Curtis Copeland and Hayden Head of Ozarkian Folk Chronicles. And we sat down and they started asking me questions, and I got to share my heart, got to share some history on the covenant, the sword, the arm of the Lord, and just exactly what it's like when people start, I don't know, they're working on the stairway to heaven and they end up on the highway to hell. Ooh, that's an 80s thing almost. But that's what we sat down and talked about. And I kind of expected the whole podcast to go for maybe an hour. We sat there for over 2 hours and just opened up things. And I had the opportunity just to take my time and start linking together all the different elements, all the way back from the 1930s, the 1950s, all the way to the culmination of how some sect can relocate here, once up in Pontiac, Missouri, and back down here in Oakland, Arkansas, and become a cult, a white supremacist paramilitary cult. And this is the road to Oakland, just 6 miles away. And the CSA was up that way on the Missouri line. But it's how a cult can, this is a perfect place for a cult. The Ozarks is secluded. You can bring people back here. You can cut them off from civilization, from their family, get opportunities to start using propaganda and brainwash. And I even had the opportunity to start linking together the white supremacy that started all the way back with an evangelist called William Brannan. He had a protege of all people named Jim Jones. Jim Jones had a protege, and his last name was Winrod, whose son happened to be Gordon Winrod, who came to Gainesville, Missouri area on Lick Creek, right near Mammoth. Grew up knowing all about Winrod, knew who the gentleman was, and about white supremacy, and how all this has kind of started linking together to build a cult that culminated in 1985 when about 300 law enforcement officers had to come together, and they had a standoff. And miracle of all miracles, folks, with all the things and the background information, it's amazing. It was the hand of God that actually worked and quelled down what could have happened in such a tragedy. Everybody gave up their arms. They walked away. Well, they didn't walk away. They were arrested. But there was no one killed in the standoff in April of 1985, 40 years ago. And so I had the opportunity. Thank you, Curtis. Thank you, Hayden. It was just a pleasure and a joy to sit down and visit and take our time. Have you ever sat down and talked with people, and it just after a few minutes you start talking with them? It's like you know them almost all your life. And I don't know, I wasn't expecting to share everything that I shared. But somehow I'm a good blabbermouth, and I just opened up. I believe the Lord had his hand in it. I got to open up and share some personal testimony, and how I was close to, I got to see some of the things here, but when I left here, how my eyes were opened up to certain things. And it was just one of the best interviews I've ever been involved in. As a historian, they teach you in grad school that you are not to interject yourself into any story. And well, we just did not follow protocol on this one. Curtis and Hayden, they had some of the best questions. They set me at ease. It was one of the best interviews and chats I've ever had online on a podcast. I think it's the best chat I've ever had. Just take our time and just start working through precepts here and objectives, what was going on here and there. It was one of the best things. So I want to give a shout out to Curtis and Hayden. And the next episode, it will be dropping probably midweek of September, this next week of September. And look on my Facebook page. Look and start following Curtis and Hayden on Ozarkian Folk Chronicles. They have some of the best interviews anywhere from, right now they're covering cults and witchcraft in the Ozarks. They just had a former Wiccan witch give her heart to the Lord, and how does that work in the Ozarks? You mean we have stuff like that? Yes, we do. And it is just a wonderful avenue that they've just decided to go down for about, I believe, 3 episodes. And but they cover all different things of the Ozarks. So I want to encourage you to listen to the next upcoming podcast, to Ozarkian Folk Chronicles. And again, salute, hats off to Curtis and Hayden. You guys are my brothers. Folks, from Ozarks history, I will see you soon. Bye-bye.